My beautiful students, you are welcome to class. I'm excited to be here. I hope you are excited. This is LIS 206, Introduction to Information Science. Today we'll be having lesson 6, and lesson 6 is Perspectives of Information Security in Information Science. I'll take that again. Perspectives of Information Security in Information Science. It promises to be an exciting one. I'll see you in class. My name is Dr. Ajay Ifoma Abigail from National Open University of Nigeria, Faculty of Education, Department of Library and Information Science. See you soon. Like I said earlier, this lesson is called Perspectives of Information Science. I actually divided this lesson into two. So this is Perspectives of Information Science A. In the next lesson, we will do Perspectives of Information Science. I did not want to overload you, so I divided it into two. Sit back and relax. I have a class activity for you. The question is, what do you understand by information security? What do you understand by information security? Information security simply means protecting information, protecting data, protecting resources and assets from unauthorized use, unauthorized persons, unauthorized disclosure. It means protecting what you have from fraudsters. It might be personal, it might be in an organization, it might be anywhere. As long as the person who wants to see that information is an unauthorized person, therefore there is need for information security. There are 5 components of information security. The first one is identification. The second one is availability. The third one is authorization. The fourth one is authentication. And then the fifth one is integrity. I'll start from identification. Identification here is like you want to access your email, you need to identify that you are the owner. You need to punch in your username and then your password. So identification here is like a form of is a component of information security whereby an unauthorized user of your email or your Facebook will not be able to gain access. That is identification. Availability, which is the second component of information security, simply talks about um, when you have provided your information, the system should be available to give you the information or the thing that you require. A good example here is the ATM machine. After you have punched in your PIN number and the necessary prompts, the ATM machine should be available to give you the amount that you have requested for. Another example is a Coke machine. After you have put in the right amount into the machine, the thing you require should drop for you. That is availability. The third one here is authorization. Authorization. Authorization here simply means that is the person authorized to have access to that information. For example, like in the banks, before you can withdraw a certain amount of money, or before you can do something, they will tell you this needs to be authorized. And the authorization there is probably they need a password to be able to see your data, or they need a password for such information or something. That is authorization. And if there's any problem, they'll be like, okay, who authorized it? As in, who let this slide? The other one is authentication. Authentication here is there is need for someone to really show that, okay, this particular thing, you have the right to access it. You have the right to access it. Probably in a, let me say, in a bank, that for you to have access to some certain level of information, maybe a classified information, you have the right to access it, probably a password that is given to maybe a very few people. And then integrity. Integrity as a component of information security simply means that the system should have integrity enough to ask for a password and a username which is correct, something that will not easily be manipulated, something that will not easily be forged. So every system, even our laptop, even our phones, they should have some sort of I don't want to use the word integrity again, but they should have some sort of brick wall that, okay, you must punch in the exact thing. There are some times when the system is not satisfied with what you punched in, they know it's similar. They might ask you for your familiar question and answer. And that one, surely it is only known to the owner of that email, Facebook account, Instagram account, or maybe an account even in the system. So these 5 components of information security: identification, availability, authorization, authentication, and integrity, are key. Where there is information, there is data, there are assets, there are resources. It is necessary for all these 5 components to be functioning. Information security threats. These are software programs that affect your information on your system. They affect your data, they affect your files in a negative way. Some go as far as stealing passwords and usernames. So fraudsters and undisclosed users, unauthorized users, have access to passwords and email, and they are able to access people's emails. Some of these threats are virus, worms, Trojan, and bots. Virus, worms, Trojan, and bots. There are 6 methods of malware actions. Malware actions are actually information security threats. The first one is called adware. Spyware is the second one. The third one is ransomware. The fourth one is scareware. The fifth one is rootkits. And then zombies. All these are methods of malware actions. They all perform different things. They all have different damages with which they do to information on the system. They are all software programs. Adware, spyware, ransomware, scareware, rootkits, and zombies. I have another class activity for you just before we round up this lesson. The question is, itemize and explain information security threats. Itemize and explain information security threats. Kindly send your answers to the email I will provide at the end of this lesson, and I promise I will respond. In summary, we have learned the components of information security, which are identification, availability, authorization, authentication, and integrity. We also discussed information security threats, which are virus, worms, Trojan, and bots. We learned about the methods of malware actions. Malware actions are also information security threats. They are adware, spyware, ransomware, scareware, rootkits, and then zombies. If you have any question on any of these, kindly send your question to iajie@noun.edu.ng. Thank you. I'll see you in the next lesson.